And good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another week, to another broadcast, to another cast. Oh my god, welcome back, everyone, to ESL Open Cup number 168 Asia. I'm, of course, your host, ZvP, and with me, I'm currently learning. I also apologize for starting the cast a little bit late. We are late by around 42 minutes. Of course, the event did start at the hour. I just slept in a little bit as I was casting until 8 a.m. this morning. Casting until 8 a.m. and I did end up sleeping for just over 6 hours. I didn't set an alarm because I thought I didn't need to, and I almost didn't need to, but regardless, we are here. We made it for game number 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, oh my god, let's go! We have the Canadian Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, going for a gate forge, a macro cannon rush. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Jieshi. Let's go, Barbie. The pylon has been thrown down. The boys are being pulled as well to deal with this cannon. The pylon is done and the cannons are on the way. So far, is the Sim City good enough is the real question, because Scarlett is, oh my god, is responding quite heavily to this. But it is over. The boys have to be pulled all the way back. Scarlett has accepted defeat here, and this hatchery is going to be going down. Aye. Lings are on the way. Queens should be on the way as well. Of course, this hatchery had to be rebuilt, and this is already a great start for Jieshi. Again, a very unexpected move here to try and go for this. For those wondering, going for a gate forge means that we go for a fast expansion behind this. It means that we can transition very seamlessly out of this into a normal game, into a macro game. The goal is to get a kill on this hatchery, or at least a cancel. Up. Speaking of getting a kill or a cancel, we do see that yes, this hatchery is gonna fall, and from this opener, Scarlett is going to be behind, straight up. You know, she's down a base. It's going to be difficult to saturate and get drones. I don't think the cannons can cover the ramp at least. So she should be able to saturate this base. But again, very late. This is also going to be eating into her queens, as we only have a single queen at the moment as well for Scarlett. So, it's yeah. It's a bit of a rough one here. There we go. Forced to take the unnatural natural once again. So a really weird expansion pattern here for Scarlett. But alas, she has to try to make something out of this kind of situation. Oh. And we'll see how this goes. Of course, the most dangerous thing is that these bases are very split up. We're not going to have a lot of creep connecting the bases, which means we're not going to have a lot of queens defending the bases either. So things like glaives, or things like adepts, things like oracles can do a great job at harassing mineral lines and picking off units here. Oh boy, Scarlett's going to be careful. Does have to be careful. Meanwhile, here we go. The adept gets, speaking of, the adept gets into the main base, is going to be looking to pick off some of these drones. Up. Ooh, nice citizens arrest here. The adept goes down without a drone getting picked off. Very nicely done. There's that oracle on the way. Behind this, we should be seeing a transition into Twilight Council. I don't imagine Jieshi is going to be doubling down on the Sky Toss. Not really his style. As Scarlett is responding with a very fast Roach Warren. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not fast, but because of the wonky start to this game, it's pretty interesting that it is timed the way that it is. With this, we can defend against things like Glaive Adepts. I imagine that it's here to be aggressive, though. Well, we'll see. As Jieshi is going to be expanding, taking his third base. Oracle getting across the map. Oh, the drones! This is what I was talking about. Oh, if he was a little bit more attentive, he would have been able to eviscerate the mineral line. So many drones could have gone down. Despite that, 4 drones get picked off, but that could have been a lot worse. Again, this base was so exposed. Ay. Jieshi asleep at the wheel here. Scarlett, hyper aware, is going to pull back those workers, but still a couple more drones are going to be going down. The Spore as well is not going to finish. Up, up, up. Oh, it will. There we go. It will just barely finish the oracles. We'll get the hell out of here. We have our transition Twilight Council as well as the Forge is on the way. Kind of what we expected. Off of the cannon rush, things like double Stargate Void Ray are quite common, but I don't know if that's necessary at this stage of the game, or as a transition point after a macro opener like we saw. Oh. Oh. And with that, we don't really see too many drones going down, but Jieshi's just doing a great job at harassing and keeping the economy of Scarlett as low as possible. Because of the opener, Scarlett is behind economically, like straight up. She's still struggling to recover, struggling to re-drone and resaturate her bases. It's going to take a while for that to really happen, if at all, as Jieshi is still continuing to be quite active here with his oracles. Here we go. Two slipping in towards the third base. Queen is in position. Same can be said with those spores. Finally, these cannons are being cleaned up. Oh my god. Scarlett being as efficient as possible as well, only using Ravagers for that. Oh, the Queens! Getting in position. But the Oracles, they look to find even more damage, and they try to get a Ravager. Nice transfuse there from Scarlett is going to be able to keep it alive. Follow-up is going to be Blink and +1. Hello, Blanket is back yet. Hope you got some good sleep. That was pretty good. I'm still waking up. I literally woke up. I looked at the time. I was like, fuck. Because I woke up at it was 26 minutes past 2. So I was like, oh, like I missed the start of ESL of the tournament of ESL Open Cup. So that was my bad. I slept in 26 minutes. 26 minutes. But we're here. We're back. It's okay, Pop. It's okay. It's so good. Yo, I'll wake up throughout the broadcast. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And of course, we'll get into the bracket itself soon, momentarily, as we're actually getting to really fast Colossus production. Interesting. So Jieshi is approaching this in a really defensive manner here. Despite the fact that he had a pretty good start to things, he's not trying to force the issue. He's not trying to just press his advantage. Instead, he teched up all the way into Colossi. Sure, he has +1 Blink Stalkers, but he's being very, I mean, he's just chilling here back at home. He's not going for a gateway explosion. He's holding off on that. He's taking a 4th base, and he's looking to defend and receive whatever Scarlett has to throw at him. Interesting outlook, to be honest. Very interesting outlook. As a result, Scarlett is able to drone up to 82. You know, she's able to just catch up on the workers and get back to where she should be at this stage of the game. We have a Hive on the way. We have an Infestation Pit, of course. We have a Bathing Speed. Lingbane Roach Ravager is going to be the composition of choice for Scarlett. Her upgrades are lacking a little bit. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any melee upgrades to be aggressive with Lingbane and go for all these harassment opportunities. But regardless, she's now working on an army, and Jieshi doesn't have much to speak of. He's got 1 Colossus and a couple of Archons on the way. Against this much Roach Ravager, Scarlett, she's just going in. Oh my god, she wants to dive on top of the Colossus. Ooh. Couple of bars are going to fend that off for the time being. It looks like Jieshi's being cut off from his 4th base. And Scarlett just has too much. Yo, she's looking for an opening. She wants to try and catch these Colossi, trying to transition over towards that 4th. Meanwhile, a couple of roaches are peeled off, and there it is! Up! Scarlett, she gets on top of the army, she picks up an Archon, doesn't quite get on top of the Colossi, not yet, but this is going to be good enough, forcing the army back, gets the Forge, forces the overcharge as well. Oof. And even gets another Archon. Sure, she may not have been able to get a kill on this base, so it was a relatively expensive push, but picking off a couple of Archons makes it kind of worth it. Scarlett is about to remax and push in again, though. I'm surprised that Jieshi lost as little as he did, to be honest. Like, that was a pretty good defense from the Protoss overall. Especially because now Disruptors are coming out. Thankfully, Scarlett cleared up some supply, and we have a couple of Vipers on the way. And with that, that is going to be a great counter to all these high-tech units, whether it's Colossus, whether it's Disruptors. And to be honest, there is no counter to these Vipers at the moment. All the High Templar were morphed into Archons. We don't have any High Templar remaining. We don't really have any way to just pick off or have control of the skies. I do think that Scarlett's just waiting for the moment where she's topped up with these Vipers, and then she can just go in with everything she's got. Oh boy. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. For the time being, Scarlett just skirmishing here with this army, with these Stalkers. Nothing too major. She's going to be able to clean up these rocks at least. Bailing run by being set up on the right-hand side. We only have +1 melee, so 2 Bailings are required to kill a worker. Meanwhile, do we have a reaction? No! Ooh, there is no reaction. The probes are going to be going down. 13 probes in total. And despite the fact that Jieshi is on the back foot, Jieshi is looking to just defend on 4 bases. He is being pulled apart. He doesn't catch wind of this run by. And now the Vipers are out. Now it is go time for Scarlett. How many units do we have to abduct? We have 3 Colossus and 1 Disruptor. We have a second Disruptor on the way, but here we go. Oh, 2 Colossus get yoinked immediately. Oh, and an Oracle as well. Not ideal. Up. Ooh. The Disruptor goes down as well. Basically, whatever Scarlett needed to pick off, she has been able to do so. Only a single Colossus remaining, and the Bailings are rolling on in. Even if Scarlett is pushed back here, and she will be, she still does trade very well with the army, as she still eviscerated the mineral line here on the right-hand side. Jieshi is being forced all in. He has to counterattack. He has to keep pushing. He has the momentum right now. Scarlett just has to buy time, and look at that Link Flood. Jeshi's going to be able to get a base, but a base is all he can get. If he keeps pushing, then Scarlett will just be able to swallow up that army. She's going for a massive Link counterattack. Jieshi still doesn't turn around. He can't afford to. He's all in. There is one way this game ends, and I think it's going to be with Jieshi running out of steam. There's the yoink on the Disruptor and the Colossus. Oh. It's all we needed. We could maybe get a yoink on an Immortal as well, but we have to top up that energy, and there's just not too much Protoss remaining here. The Roach Ravager stutter stepping forward. GG gets called, and Scarlett will take the series 2-0. GG, well played. Unfortunately, we missed out on game number 1. We don't know how the series started, but honestly, I'm pretty impressed with how Scarlett was able to recover. Bearing in mind that things started off with a cannon rush and Scarlett did lose her natural hatchery. She also was losing a lot of drones to oracles. To be fair, Jieshi wasn't as attentive with his oracles as he could have been, and he could have dealt a little bit more damage, but regardless, he was still in a decent position. He just had a really interesting outlook on how to progress in the game, a much more defensive and passive style instead, which allowed Scarlett to be able to macro as well as she did and be able to catch back up. So GG, well played. Oh, hold on one moment. Oh, there we go. Making sure everything is good and working. Meanwhile, it is time to have a look at the bracket. I haven't really been able to absorb the bracket too much, we have our next series. I was about to ask if we know where we are headed from this point on, and we do. ! Be in the chat if you want to look at the bracket yourself. I will be able to, or we can look at it together actually. Un momento.